depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to be having a look at some new cards that have been officially revealed from Surging Sparks. I showed you my reveals the other day, and Pokemon gave me Donphan and Phanpy. I mean, they know I love Donphan, just to be clear. It was a very deliberate thing. And being able to reveal those cards was awesome. But I was not the only person the other day who was revealing cards from Surging Sparks. So we should have a look at some other people that were. Starting off with Dot Esports, who went and showed us Ceruledge EX, which is a very big deal. Now, we kind of knew Ceruledge EX was coming in the set. Essentially, I told you the other day the 8 A-Specs which are coming in the set. And I told you that if there were going to be 8 A-Specs, it had to be bringing in the A-Specs from the Ceruledge and Sylveon decks that were released in Japan. And if we were bringing in the A-Specs from those decks, then surely we'd be bringing in the other new cards from those decks, including Ceruledge and Sylveon EX. So I kind of told, well, I didn't kind of tell you. I explicitly told you that it was going to be in the set. I was sure it was going to be in the set. But the fact that it's actually been revealed is a big deal, because now we've got confirmation. And just to be clear, Ceruledge EX is a legit deck. It is seeing play and success in Japan right now. It is a player in the metagame over there. We are not talking about an unplayable garbage EX, and unfortunately we've seen enough of them over the years. No, we are talking about a legit deck, and you're talking like 3% of the meta, somewhere in that range, right? It's not the best deck in the game, but it is a legit deck, and that is important. Now, free energy, 280, discard all energy from this Pokemon, nobody really cares, but Abyssal Flames is why we're playing this. For a single fire energy, you do 30 damage, plus 20 more for each energy card in your discard pile. And it is energy card, so if an energy provides more than one energy, take double turbo for instance, it doesn't count as 2 energy in a discard, it's only 1. The thing is, there's no shuffle the energy back into your deck or anything along those lines. It's just 30 damage plus 20 for each energy in the discard pile. So all you need to do here is just fire all that energy, pun intended, into your discard pile, and then you just hit harder and harder and harder as the game goes along, while you're sitting there rocking with a single energy attacker. So it's a stage 1 single energy that once you get the setup going, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. It is a good deck, it is very viable, and it is one that's going to see a bunch of play. But there was another card that was revealed by Dot Esports, which actually was the A-Spec from the Ceruledge deck. And of course it's Brilliant Blender, which incidentally is the A-Spec you have to play with Ceruledge, because what it does is it lets you search your deck for up to 5 cards and discard them. Yeah, so with Ceruledge here, you just search for 5 energy, discard them all. That's an extra 100 damage just from the A-Spec, and then you can go ahead and discard all the other cards in the way that you normally would. It's beautiful. It's one of the reasons why Ceruledge works. And again, Ceruledge still takes a little while to kind of get up to the numbers you really want to be hitting. I'm not saying it's perfect or unbeatable, it's not. But I am saying this A-Spec, being able to just drop it, and when you drop it, all of your Ceruledge will then do an extra 100 damage on all of their attacks for the rest of the game. And I'm just telling you, that's like legit and brilliant and awesome. It is the A-Spec we've been looking for. And again, like I say, the fact that this pair of cards have been revealed, it's not the biggest surprise in the world. We kind of assumed that that was going to be the case because, well, I told you, they were always going to be here. But that's not the point. The point is that these are good, viable cards that we need in the format, and confirmation they're coming is a big deal. As a personal side note, one of the decks I'm really looking forward to making when Surging Sparks comes out, and I'm not sure it's going to work, but Veluza Crabominable. Well, you all saw it at the pre-release. If you went to a Stellar Crown pre-release, you saw this deck over and over again. But they both have attacks which reduce by 1 energy for each Kofu in your discard pile. So Crabominal will become single energy 250 and Veluza comes no energy 110 as long as you've got 4 Kofu in your discard pile. And obviously if you play Brilliant Blender, well, that will put all 4 Kofu in your discard pile plus 1 other card. So it will make them a lot better. But I know what you're thinking, Wassy. You've told us about all this Ceruledge stuff. What about Sylveon? Well, good news. Elsmark.com has gone and revealed the Sylveon as well. Not in English, unfortunately. I want to say Spanish, but I'm not a language expert. The point is, we do have the Sylveon. The Sylveon has gone and been revealed, and this is wonderful. Now, the Sylveon, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be more popular because it's Sylveon. People love Sylveon, but in terms of playability, it is not as good as the Ceruledge, and I'm not pretending it is. As a side note, I should actually warn you guys, because this is quite important, there's no other versions of these cards. There is no full art Sylveon, there is no special illustration rare Sylveon or any of that. They exist only as regular EXs. There is no fancy version. And like I've said, Sylveon, it's not the card that's going to make you win a whole bunch of tournaments. I'm sorry. It's not terrible, but we've had it for a while over in Japan, and we know it's not as good as Ceruledge. What we got is free energy, 160, and this Pokemon takes 100 less from attacks next turn. And then free energy, and you get to choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and you return them to your opponent's deck, which is kind of cool, honestly. It's a nice little attack, but you cannot use it 2 turns in a row, which is a little bit of a problem. And like I say, it's fine, but it's another one of those where I do worry it's just not going to end up being great. Sorry about that. Also, just to confirm, the first attack is the defending Pokemon's attacks do 100 less damage, so even if Sylveon swaps out, the defending Pokemon still does 100 less. There we go. But if a new active Pokemon comes up, that will do regular damage to Sylveon. Point is, it's fine, but it's not great. The good news is, over on cnews.fr, we got a nice little look at the A-Spec from the Sylveon deck, which is Cherish Carrier, just lets you search for any number of basic Pokemon and whack them on your bench. It's another A-Spec I expect to see a bunch of play. I'm not saying it's a flashy A-Spec or anything along those lines, but I absolutely am saying that any time you can get all of your basics out, turn 1, get your entire bench set up and roll in, that's a good thing. We love this. Really good A-Spec. Expected to see a bit of play in a bunch of decks. It is very, very cool. Oh, I suppose I should also mention that the eevee got revealed as well, shouldn't I? It's not actually a terrible eevee. The eevee's kind of cool. What the eevee does here is, if it's active, it can evolve during your first turn or the turn you play it, so you can get it rolling immediately. Yay! But we got new reveals, and let's face it, it's the Pikachu set. Feels like it would be a little bit sad if we got through this video without showing you that Pikachu has gone and been revealed. We have an English look at Pikachu. We know everything we need to know about him. Adorable and all of that. Now, this reveal went to thegamer.com, and weirdly, it's full art Pikachu. Remember how when they revealed it in Japan, they revealed the full art with the regular? Well, here apparently it's just the full art. I don't know why this particular card, Pokemon is determined to only reveal it as a full art. Or at least always make sure the full art is in the initial reveal. Doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me, honestly. Doesn't really matter. It's just a little bit strange. Now, what we got from the Pikachu here is the ability Resolute Heart, and if it has full HP and would be knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, i.e. if it gets KO'd by an ability or poison or something along those lines, this doesn't work, its remaining HP becomes 10. And sure, you can try getting a KO with poison or an ability. And sure, you can try damaging it and then KOing it, after it's already damaged. But the point is, this is going to be super annoying. Either you're going to have to 2-hit KO it, or you're going to have to plan another way to get around it. Either way, Pikachu has that survivability coming in, which is kind of awesome. It is not going to be that easy to take this dude out initially. But there's more, because they've actually got a really nice attack as well. Grass, Lightning, Metal Energy, 300. Discard free energy from this Pokemon. And sure, you have to discard the energy, but remember nowadays, we've got stuff like Sparkling Crystal, for instance, and Crispin that helps pay the attack cost of these ridiculous Terra Pokemon. And the fact of the matter is that you are going to be able to get this rolling sometimes if you want to. And then along with that, you're doing 300 damage. And let's not forget, we've seen Magneton. Remember, Magneton is going to be our Elite Trainer Box promo for Surging Sparks. And we know that lets you essentially KO it in order to attach free energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon, which is cool. One of your lightning Pokemon. But it's not lightning energy, it's just lightning Pokemon. So yes, you absolutely can attach other energy here, like a grass, a metal, and a lightning, for argument's sake. And then if you go behind on prizes, you can do stuff like use Counter Catcher, for instance, which is pretty awesome. Grab a Pokemon active, and then things like Defiance Band, for instance. You will then be able to do the extra 30 damage, and then you're hitting 330, which not for nothing gets a straight one-hit KO on a Charizard. I think Pikachu's got legit potential here. Pikachu. Imagine a world in which the top two decks are Pikachu and Charizard. There is a chance we could be heading towards there. While we're here, the gamer also revealed Kecleon here, which I told you about this one when it was revealed in Japan. I love the ability. Also, the ability says, if damage is done to this Pokemon by attack, flip a coin if head to prevent that damage. I love that they've actually got two Pokemon here who have abilities that basically keep them alive. Thematically, that just makes me happy that they got these two cards. Whoever's given out the reveals, I think, is doing a pretty spiffing job. But this one, look, it's got 70 HP. So if you can keep flipping heads, you're literally invincible. But like the first time you flip tails, you're getting KO'd. Send 2 energy, 30 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's not exactly a phenomenal attack either. I think there are going to be pre-releases that are won because someone flips like 12 heads in a row with this. And that's going to be hilarious. But I think most of the time, this is going to be a fun little card where you flip a heads or two and then you just get KO'd anyway. Still, I love that the reveal for this went hand in hand with the Pikachu. That makes me happy. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I've told you what you need to know about these, so now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these cards you're looking forward to from Surging Sparks. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Lawasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. Oh, and get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely eevee, who's been a supporter of ours for a long time now, and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.